A researcher is expected to spend a major chunk of their time reading research papers. Knowing others' work will help in easy identification of the research problems and research gaps. And it also provides interesting caveats for future research. Although researchers spend a great deal of time reading research manuscripts, it is not taught systematically, which is why I am doing this video. When I was a PhD student, I learned a lot of things through trial and error. Consequently, I lost a lot of time. If one were to ask me, what is the most important skill a researcher has to acquire in the formative stages, I would without a shadow of doubt say that it is reading. So before we move on to how to read, it is better to ponder over how not to read. Don't read scientific manuscripts like reading a pulp fiction or reading a newspaper article. You have to understand the structure and the features of a research manuscript to read it critically. In this video, I am going to unravel that systematic process behind reading, and I am going to convince you that reading scientific manuscripts can be a fascinating and painless process. Initially, let us just move on to strategies. There are two established strategies of reading. These strategies are applicable to any reading context, particularly to reading scientific manuscripts. The first one is skimming. Skimming refers to getting a bird's eye view of the entire research paper. And how do you get the bird's eye view? First of all, you should read the title, and then you read the abstract and the keywords, so which will give you the larger picture, a bird's eye view, which we call as skimming. Moving on to scanning. Scanning refers to gathering specific details. And how do you gather specific details? By reading the subtitles in the manuscript, by looking at the figures. You will get a feel of what the overall paper is and identify the abstruse areas that merits further reading. So after skimming and scanning, you will move on to serious reading. So skimming and scanning are not reading strategies per se, they are actually warming tasks, prerequisites, which actually prepares you for some trenchant and serious reading. Let us now focus on the process of reading the different sections. Broadly speaking, there are four major sections of a research paper called as the IMRAT format by the scientific community: introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So let's very briefly discuss about how to read the introduction of a research paper, what to look for in methods, and what to look for when you read the results section, and how to read a discussion section. So first of all, how to read an introduction section. See, whenever you read any research paper, the introduction section usually addresses two big questions. Question A: what is already known about the field? And question B: what is not known, or what is not known sufficiently? So look for these two aspects in your introduction. Let us take the topic diabetes and effective treatment. If this is a paper, the first part of the introduction will discuss about the existing treatments for diabetes, and the second part may deal with little known or highly effective practices. So look for these two questions in your introduction: what is known about the area, and B. What is not sufficiently known about the area. Then you will move on to read the method section of your paper. It can be really challenging and overwhelming for a new reader because there will be a lot of technical stuff in the method section. But the method section primarily answers only one question. How did the researchers do it? So did they conduct an experiment or was it a questionnaire? So how did they actually do it? So if you would like to carry the same research, if you understand the methods, it will help you to recreate the same procedure. So in the methods, look for only one question. How did they do it? Then move on to results. What you should look for when you read the results is what did they find? What was the result of their experiment? If it is a theoretical paper, what are the interpretations of the theory that is applied? So this is how you read the results section. Moving on to discussion section. A discussion section also answers two important questions. What is the significance of the results? The results are said there. What is the significance of those results? A. And B. How does the results support the objectives of that study? So this is how you read the results section. Finally, you will go on and read the abstract. And what to look for in an abstract? You look for 4 aspects, which is called the PMRC. You will see what is the purpose, and you will see what is the method applied by the researcher, and you will see what are the primary and important results, and you will see what is the significance, the conclusion of the work. So these are some of the important strategies of reading the introduction, methods, results and discussion section. So if you break it into these subsections and read, you can read it easily. Whatever we discussed will evaporate if you don't apply it in the context of what we read. So let me give you a practical framework on how to read a research paper. Take any research paper of your choice. First thing, read the topic of the research paper and write one sentence on what the paper is about. Then go on and read the introduction of your paper. Write 2 sentences on introduction. Sentence A, what is already known about the field. Sentence B, what is not known sufficiently. Then go on to the literature review of the paper. Write 3 or 4 sentences on what others have argued, their views about the particular topic. Then move on to the method section. After reading the method section, write 2 sentences about the method section. Method A, what is the method used by the researcher? Sentence B, why has the researcher used that particular method? And after that, you go and read the results section of the paper. Write 1 or 2 sentences on the results, on the primary results of the study. And then go and read the discussion section and write a few sentences on why those results are significant. After you read all these sections, have a separate column for your views and document your views about that particular paper. What is your opinion about that particular study? Do you agree with the claims made in that research paper? Would you like to deconstruct those arguments? So present your views in a nutshell. So after you do all this, go and read the abstract of your paper. So now read the abstract of that particular paper. And this is how you read a research paper. This is a systematic way to approach a research paper. So you will find a worksheet of whatever I have discussed, a worksheet on reading a research paper in the description box. You may download it and use it whenever you read research papers. So So reading a research paper would be really a cumbersome task. Initially, it will take more time, but as you read consistently and voraciously, you will understand the nitty-gritties of reading scientific papers. I hope that this video was quite useful to you.